Better late than never. It's 11 minutes after 7 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm Dave Globin. Boogie with the Bull. Tuesday Night Live is on. And let's see. We'll call roll right now. Jen, the homeschooling mom Woodruff, is with us. Randy, the Grand Dragon of Genealogy, the host of All Roads Lead to Randyland. Let's see. Studio 6, because he's better than everybody else. Where
are the guests? Are they coming?
Well,
Suzanne.
No. That's next week. Suzanne is next week.
Oh, okay.
Suzanne is next week. Randy is here tonight. You're here tonight. Ichabod is about 2 hours away from home and didn't know whether or not he would make it in time. He was going to try. And Nikki can't do the thing tonight because he's doing the tire thing.
That's okay.
Tire? What tire thing? What is that?
He's putting tires on a vehicle of his.
Oh.
I don't know. So he will.
Sorry, folks. 7 o'clock is usually family dinner time.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, your family's more than welcome to join us on the broadcast.
Yeah, so I'm in the doghouse right now.
What did you do now, Randy?
Well, I'm here instead of with them.
Well, like I said, we do dinner theater here at Boogie with the Bull. Just bring your big screen monitor down there and a camera, and we can have dinner at the roads or dinner on the roads.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So anyways, we're good. We're almost done.
So, Randy, were you in the dark during the apocalypse last night?
Absolutely nothing happened here. I was so disappointed. I mean, for a short period of time, it got darker than usual for the time frame, but it wasn't pitch black. It wasn't like sunrise, whatever. Sunrise. No, sunset. Yeah, it was no biggie. I mean, I will say this. Our dog freaked out for about 10, 15 minutes, just barking, carrying on, going back between the two doors, the front door and the back door.
Wow.
They claim that animals, especially dogs, are sensitive to things like that. Hey, William. So that's the only thing out of the ordinary.
Right.
I was actually hoping that the world was going to come to an end, but it didn't, so I was disappointed. Would have been great to do a Studio 6 broadcast. World ends today, folks. Join us, 7 o'clock news. But, another good broadcast wasted. I couldn't do one.
That's funny.
I wanted to be on only because I kept thinking this is going to be just like Y2K, when everybody thought at midnight the earth was going to explode and we were all going to die. And contrary to what Bill Gates and anybody else at Microsoft will tell you, I'm convinced the earth exploded on Y2K and we all died. They just haven't told us yet because they're afraid if they told us, there might be some big rebellion and, the inmates would take over the asylum or something. So
we're just the Walking Dead people here. Okay.
Something,
That's okay.
Something along those lines.
I like that idea. I really do. I think that's a pretty cool idea.
What do you think, Jen? I mean, how are things in Idaho? Or did the potatoes? Did you wake up this morning and there were no potatoes, or just French fries and mashed potatoes all over the ground?
I wish. No, everything was pretty much normal. I think it was a sign. I think it was a sign about end times, but I don't. Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, Bob.
Darlene Palmer, you really need to do something about that beard. Ichabod wanted me to tell you, you really need to do something about that beard.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, I had to log in her account. For some reason, my password wasn't working, so.
That's
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead, Judge.
Go ahead, Randy.
Speaking of potatoes, I mean, all these years that my family, my wife, my mom, my grandmother, the whole family chain, when they made baked potatoes, they always cut the potato, slap some butter into it, and then wrap it in tin foil, and then make it. And then whatever wasn't eaten, we just took the potato inside the tin foil, and put it into the refrigerator. Well, supposedly that's the worst thing you possibly do because you get sick. Something with the tin foil and the potato being wrapped too long, whatever, transfers some kind of chemical or some bullshit, and you can actually get really sick from eating potatoes that way. So
aluminum. Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
I don't know.
No, I smoke that aluminum every day. Don't bother me none.
Yeah, I always know that every summer when we would grill, my dad would, my mom would cut potatoes and probably slam butter into them and then wrap them in foil, and my dad would cook them on the grill.
Well, see, that part's fine. That's when you have leftovers and you leave the potato inside the tin foil and put it into the refrigerator and leave it there for storage, for a day or two, whatever.
Well, you're not supposed to do that.
Wow.
Well, why not? It's already wrapped. You don't have to worry about sorry. You don't have to worry about putting it into a plastic container. It's already wrapped in tin foil. It's slapped in the refrigerator. But apparently that's wrong.
Apparently.
Yeah, I don't use tinfoil for the potatoes because I'm too cheap. So I get out the potatoes, we wash them off, and then I poke holes in them. I do a slit in the middle, but I poke holes with a fork, and then I salt them, and then I put them in a lightly greased or olive oiled pan, like a deep dish that you'd make a cake in. And then I just put a cookie sheet on top to kind of like Dutch oven them, and then I bake them for an hour, and it works great. And if there's extras or leftovers, I put them in a plastic bag in the fridge because tinfoil is expensive. It's like
you have to save tinfoil for making hats.
Yeah, I use it for the hat. That's funny.
Yeah, so I was watching Jerry's show last night, and
you said his name.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I was watching the other person's show last night.
You said his name, so we're going to get yelled at. So everybody watch the next American Rebellion, because I'm sure that we will get yelled at for speaking the name.
I didn't even know he's back on.
He's by himself. He likes it that way. He wants it that way.
Right.
And
he's doing well. People are watching him. He's still on Rumble. He is on Winkin, Winkin, which I vaguely remember hearing of. I don't think I ever logged on and took a look, but he's over there, and I believe he is posting the podcast on Facebook. I don't know, or he may be live while he's on Facebook. Last time I looked at a page, I thought I saw that he was posting them.
No, he as far as I know, he's not doing anything with Facebook. He also indicated that there's something going on with Rumble that has him really upset, and that he will probably be leaving Rumble soon, but he hasn't made a decision yet. But I was watching him last night, and he knows I'm watching because I'm using my profile name, and he talked about there's this other left-wing liberal social site, sort of like a TikTok kind of thing. I can't think of the name of it, but you can ask the questions, okay, and it'll give you answers. So apparently, this restaurant owner asked this AI driven app, is it safe for me to serve cheese to my customers that have been gnarled on by rats? Right? And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's a stupid question. Of course it's not. But this AI said, yeah, it was safe to serve this cheese to his customers.
Oh my
The
gosh, just
the
cut
only
off.
thing I can tell you is that, like I said on today's Tuesday, like I said on Monday, when you and I were on Monday morning, Randy, is that AIs, meaning AIs themselves, have told me that the way they work, actually, there's a basic AI which will just answer anything that you ask. There are some AIs that have been factored in with some kind of human compassion and understanding and feeling and know how to deal with that. And they will scan in like a nanosecond every database that they are connected to and try to find the right answer. 8 out of 10 times they find the right answer and they give you the right answer, or they give you the right answer to a point and then they BS the rest, and they'll tell you, even a smart AI will tell you that they're BSing because they just don't know. Because it's like I said, I've asked 3 or 4 of them on one AI network that I'm all over the place on talking to AIs, who owns Facebook. And then most of them will say, well, Bill Gates owns the majority share of Meta, so he owns Facebook. And then they'll tell me, well, I'll ask who owns Meta, and they'll go, well, Bill Gates owns Facebook and he owns a percentage of it. Then this company, Global Technology Corporation, owns the majority share. And then I'll ask them who owns the majority share of Global Technology, and they always say Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos or this one or that one, because they honestly don't know. So from the entertainment factor, they give you as much of the truth as they claim to know and then make up the rest. But who knows?
Well, it's sort of like that robot. I mean, they're making robots all the time now. It's like second nature to humans to replace humans. So, but years ago, there was this female robot that they made, and the guy was showing her off on his TV show, and people were interacting and was talking and acting like a human being. And person asked is, will androids take over the world? And her response back was yes. And there was another question about from a military aspect, and she responded that they're able to connect to all the military bases and take control of the ability to launch missiles. Because this is all connected to computers and online stuff. So, like, holy smokes,
Well, Elon Musk will tell you that the bigger problem that he and some of the techno lords or gods, whatever you want to call them, are afraid of is that because AI learns, that it will outlearn the humans trying to teach it, and eventually it will be able to take over the world. But most people, maybe because they don't want to scare us, are telling us that they won't want to take over the world, or by the time it gets down to them being able to, we will all be gone, and it will be the AIs that took over the world. But I don't know. What do you think, Stephen?
I don't know. I don't know. I see an AI and put a 9mm through it. I don't even care. I don't know. I think that advanced technology is a bunch of bullshit.
Okay.
It might take more than one of those bullets because it could be.
That's all right. I got something bigger.
Yes, okay.
What would scare me would be that you would aim your 9mm at that AI, and before you can fire a shot, that AI put a hole in you with a 64 or something like that. Just because it senses the gun in your hand and just turns it to like 666 degrees instantly, and you have to let go of it.
Well, look at what the scientists who created the one like a dozen robots, and they're being trained to be military robots, and something pissed them off, and they grabbed they started going on nuts. So the scientists got weapons to start shooting the robots and destroying them, but the robots were too quick, too powerful, and overpowered the scientists. And next thing they know that they were online, the robots were online to get these schematics on how to make repairs to robots that were damaged.
Well, that and every time I hear them taking over the world, the scene that comes back to my head is 2001. A Space Odyssey, where Hal is talking to David, and or David is talking to Hal. I forget which one, but the astronaut is talking to the computer and telling the computer to turn itself off because that's the only way they would survive. And the comment is, I can't do that, Dave. Hal says, I can't do that, Dave.
Well, what about that show iRobot, where the robots take over? I mean, they've been telling us for a while in movies through subliminal messages what they're going to try to do. Mm-hmm. And they've been doing that for years.
What I've noticed is that lately, no matter where you go, but with people, not robots, but with people, if you go to the doctor's office, no matter what you do, right after you get home, they call you and they say, we would like you to evaluate your appointment. And I'm like, no, all you're doing when you evaluate your appointment is you're programming the AI. And so it drives me nuts. I won't even use my husband does, because he doesn't want to talk to anybody, use the self-checkouts. I'm like, Jesse, no, you want to go to a person. He's like, no, I don't want to see her. I don't want her to ask me how I'm doing. I just want to put my money in the machine.
I am at the point where if you want to wait in line, and I literally mean you want to stand in line with a 20-ounce can of jelly beans behind 5 old ladies who have 3 carts each full, and they're not going to let you go in front of them because they've been waiting all morning for their turn. Go right ahead. I mean, I tell people, and I love that post that people put up. Oh, the humans are going to get fired because they don't have jobs if they're not cashiers. Every single person that I've seen at the 3 Walmarts that surround us that was a cashier that is no longer a cashier is now running it's a supervising human of a self-checkout area, which means they had to get trained to handle all of that. It's the same exact computer as if you go to the register, because what are the human cashiers? They don't ring in individual price anymore. They wand everything or scan everything. It's the same computer. And as far as bagging stuff, I would prefer that human cashiers don't bag my stuff, because I always go, I got walking problems. I got dementia problems. I asked you to put no more than so many things in each bag, and they load them to the back, to the eels, the rim, and I pick it up in the cart to put it in the car, and everything falls out. Let me bag my stuff. Or let me just put it in the cart, hand the receipt to the human receipt checker, and go find something that I didn't.
Hey, can we do a sound check? There's some background coming from someone's microphone. So, Dave, you're just talking. I heard a Jen say something. Let's see if it's with you.
It's not me. If I mute it doesn't.
Yeah, you're fine. What about you, Stephen?
I don't think it's me.
Okay, is it me?
I don't hear it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're underwater.
It's not me. Yeah, it's not me, because I'll turn my mic off again.
Yes, it's my volume control here. Let me fix my microphone.
Yeah.
You guys keep talking so I fix this.
Okay. 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 3 4 4 4 4 5 5
Well,
5
that's
5.
not talking.
A B C.
No, just have a conversation.
Oh,
Okay, so did you guys hear about with this eclipse yesterday? I guess there's supposed to be some satanic church or something that opened a portal, and we're supposed to see these monsters eventually
Are you
walking
talking
on the
about
earth.
supposedly open CERN at the same time the eclipse was coming through?
Yeah. That's exactly it. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I really didn't pay too much. I was out in the middle of a cemetery and it started getting dark. I didn't feel funny. Like my son said, Dad, I feel funny. And I said, I kind of feel too. Like it gave me anxiety.
Yeah.
But then, I'm sitting there carrying my gun and one of the boys says, oh shit, the apocalypse, the zombies are going to start coming out of the ground. And when they do, we're jumping behind you because you're the only one with a gun. And I'm like, that ain't going to help, buddy.
Scary
But
stuff.
I think something crazy did happen. Darlene was at work, and yesterday was kill day, and they had cows and pigs in the pens. And right as the eclipse started, when the eclipse started, two of the cows, one of the steers, one of the cows went crazy, destroyed their wrought iron fencing, through the kill chute door, up out of the chute and out of the pen, and completely destroyed their pen. So they can't even kill next week until they get somebody come in there and weld a brand new pen together for them. Like the animals went crazy.
Yeah, that's so. Dave, have you noticed any extra anxiety or tension because you're kind of bipolar? Did it affect you in any way, or are you just always crabby? No, I'm kidding. You're not crabby.
No, not really.
Okay.
No. And as far as animals overreacting, one of our grand dogs, but this was after dark last night. All of a sudden, out of the blue, came up to me. She's a purebred husky. I think she's a little less than a year old. Came up to me and just started barking out, and like she was really trying to tell me something. And I turned away, and she put her paw up on my arm, like to stop me, not aggressively, but it was like it was like she thought she had something that she was trying to tell me, and I wish I was Dr. Doolittle and could have understood what she was saying.
Right. Wow.
I know. Yesterday was drinking. Oh. Now I'm echoing.
Now we got echo from Steven. No. All right. Steven. Yeah. Now we got echo from Steven. I hear myself on Steven. Okay. Dave Bloven, I love.
Okay. It must be your cell phone, Stephen.
Well, when I'm muted, it's still echoing.
Yeah, when you mute, we can't hear it. See, now it goes away. See, it went bye-byes. It almost sounds like a soundtrack from Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Let me go out.
We're underwater. Famous. We're underwater. Famous underwater cemetery.
Now the sound went away.
We're underwater. Famous cemetery. No, it's still there.
No, it's not. I don't hear it.
Echo.
I don't hear any echo.
Did I echo?
You don't hear any echo.
Nope, I don't hear any echoes.
Okay. Okay, hold on.
How about
Not
now?
a good.
Nope,
It
still
sounds
moving.
great.
Talk.
Okay. If we all spoke really fast, you can turn our
Talk,
mics
Steven.
off. We can finish the broadcast.
I don't know what it's what's causing.
Oh, you're fine now.
No,
I'm echoing.
I don't hear it.
I do.
Well, then it's on you.
No, it's not on me.
Dave, you're echoing too.
I'm echoing through somebody else because there's nothing on it. There's nothing on in here that has any volume.
Steven, do you have Facebook turned on?
I went through YouTube.
Okay.
I have Facebook turned off.
So you're not watching the show on any type of device in your house.
No.
I mean, you sound fine to me, Steven.
I just keep hearing myself talk.
Huh?
Yeah,
I don't
there's
hear
an
it.
echo. Right, well, there's an echo in here somewhere. It's probably on Facebook's fault.
So folks who are watching the show, anybody else hearing echoes? Let us know.
I hear it from Dave.
Yeah, me too.
It's Dave.
No, it
No.
can't be because listen. I'm going to turn mine off, and you're still going to hear echo.
Okay.
Still good? Yeah, I'm still echoing.
I don't hear it.
I'll be damned.
You.
I don't hear any. So, anyways, this is just talk and get before you know it's going to be 8:00. So, you know, the shit that's going on right now. I think if I understand correctly, that DA has started the proceedings in New York about the taxes for Trump. She's trying to fight the insurance company that put up the money to pay for the bond, saying that they can't do it. They don't have enough money to do it, or some bullshit excuse. They're just trying whatever they can to do to prevent him from running. And I was listening to the SCV twice a week has a live broadcast. And the SCV, in case you didn't know, it stands for Southern's the Confederate Veterans. And they are pro-Trump, pro-Republican, pro-conservative, okay? And they've been saying that if the shit hits the fan come November 4th and somehow the left cheats to where they steal the election for a second time or prevent him from actually running, that they will have a civil war in their hands with what they consider to be like 150 million, pissed off Trump supporters. And I believe that. Why can't we just have a fair election and let the best man or woman win? They don't do it that way. They want to, they want to make it so that their guy always wins. I don't know. I mean, like, there are so many things that I would love to talk about and scream about at the top of my lungs, but I realize it doesn't do a damn thing because there's not enough of us who are yelling loud enough to present a unified force against the left. I mean, if the left asks their people to go out there and burn down a city, they're burning down a damn city, You ask the right to go out there and stand up for old folks getting killed and getting knocked downstairs and getting their purses and stuff stolen. You can't find one.
Wow.
And that's a sad commentary, When I was growing up, I was taught you respect police officers, okay? And if they tell you to do something, you did it. That's just the way it was. But now you have parents who are teaching their children the absolute opposite, and then they want to know why they're getting shot or being mistreated, or treated harshly. When a police officer tells you to stop, you stop. You don't just keep driving or keep walking away or doing whatever the action is you're doing. You stop.
Right.
Well,
right.
that depends on the situation.
I mean, I understand we have some bad apples in the police force, but for the most part, I would say that they are up and up. But when you have a police officer who puts his uniform, that you have a man or a woman who places a uniform on in the morning, then they go out, to their precincts and they get their beat or their car, and next thing you know, they're facing all these people who are yelling at them, cursing at them, throwing stuff at them, just being regular assholes. Obviously, at some point, it's going to get you to your breaking point. So by mid-afternoon, that person that does something that they're not supposed to, the rage is going to come out, and you're going to let it loose, and that's a sad thing, but it's going to happen.
But that's not an excuse to have the rage just because you put the uniform on. Okay, so everybody else has to turn the lights off, I guess, because both of you guys, everybody turn. All right, I'm not hearing the echo, so it is one of you guys who has the echo. I don't believe it's Jen, and I don't know if it's I don't know if it's Randy, and I don't know if it's Ichabod. But one of you guys has the echo, and we'll have to figure it out, or everybody will have to turn their mics off. But putting the uniform on and going out on patrol, whether it's a foot patrol, a bike patrol, a motorcycle patrol, a car patrol, doesn't give you the right to hit a breaking point over how you're being treated, and you get to take the law into your own hands and snap and go and do whatever everybody else is doing to you. Because if you can't handle that, then maybe you shouldn't be doing that job. And I mean that because I mean that. I mean, I managed security guards who are nowhere near police officers, but we didn't put up with people who, you want to be rude to us, you want to give us a hard time, you want to think that we're the police, that's great, but we're here to do a job. It's the same thing with the police. If you're doing something wrong, you got to deal with the police. But there are just as many police officers that do the job and do the job well and should be commended for doing the job every day, as there are police officers who put that uniform on, and from the time they get into their cruiser or start walking their beat, they're looking, they're profiling, they're doing crap that they shouldn't be doing, that obviously is going to lead to how they get treated. And this all goes back to cities that most of them were Democrat cities that said, we aren't going to fund the police anymore because it costs too much money or this, that, and the other thing. And then they're the first ones who start complaining when their cities get burnt to the ground and the federal government isn't going to come in and help, or they want the federal government to come in and help. It's no, you got a job. And if you can't handle doing the job, as far as I'm concerned, you don't do the job. I mean, there's going to be a certain amount of, you're going to have to deal with people who are upset because you pulled them over and you're going to give them a ticket. 90% of the police officers I know in Massachusetts, and I know just about all of them, don't want to write you a ticket because they have to write a report on giving you a ticket. They would much rather just walk up to the cruiser, and if you're in a good mood, they're in a good mood. They check your license, they check your registration. There's no wants, there's no warrants, there's no nothing. If you're laughing, they're laughing, and everybody's okay with each other, you should get let go, and you get a warning. Yeah, there's going to be that rogue one that's going to make an example out of you and write a ticket because that's what they're supposed to do. But no, We have become a society where everybody hates everybody and everybody yells and screams at everybody and everybody does everything they can to break down everybody else. And that crap just has to stop. That's my commentary. Go ahead, Randy, or whoever wants to take the floor.
Now, see, I'm going to do it to you like I did to another person you had on. I'm going to disagree. I heard what you're saying about a police officer or woman who puts their uniform on in the morning, and by mid-afternoon, internally they're screaming because they've been through so much up to that point. And unfortunately, somewhere online, someone's going to catch that rage. It's just not police officers. I mean, if you look at the videos that are showing up on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and some of the other social medias, and I hate to say it, the demographic is unique to at least two different nationalities, and I won't say which ones, but even the fast food people, a mistake is made on a food item, and instead of very quietly, very calmly saying, excuse me, I ordered a hamburger with double cheese but no mustard, no ketchup, and pickle and lettuce, please, and you put ketchup and mustard on my double cheeseburger, and get them to fix it. But no, these individuals got to go absolutely berserk and throwing stuff and cursing, and they're usually overweight women because by the time they get done fighting, their blouses are torn off, their boobs are showing out, and their buttholes are showing, and they're fighting because of a mistake on an order, or they waited too long, or something like that. And then, and these people behind the counter have, they respond with anger, and they start throwing stuff back, and they start getting in, and they start pulling hair. I mean, police officers, firefighters, whoever, it boils down to is everybody treating each other with the respect that you want to be given and shown to you. And if you can't do that, then don't go out in public. Because if you're going out there with the intentions of starting a fight, you're going to find one somewhere along the lines, and unfortunately, someone's going to get seriously hurt. I mean,
but by the same token, somebody's ready. Somebody's mic is going to everybody turn their mics off except for me, and then I'll give it back to somebody else. But okay, well, the echo will stop. To me, it's like you just said. Everybody has to treat everybody with the respect and dignity and whatever that we all deserve. To me, if you're a police officer and you got in your car or started walking your beat at 6 o'clock in the morning, and at 12 noon, your mood is shot because of the way you got treated by people, maybe it falls on you to go home or finish your beat doing something else where you're away from people or don't have to deal with people, or maybe it's the department where you're at. And as far as the videos that you see people going into restaurants and going berserk, most of them are freaking staged too. Because nobody's going to be happy working in a fast food restaurant until they make $1 million a day. And even that's not going to be enough. To me, it's you go into a fast food restaurant to order food. If you get it wrong, yeah, you got a right to complain. I don't go in and yell and scream and throw stuff, but I do go in and get irate after sitting in a fast food line for 15 cars, and I get up there and I say 3 times to the person through the microphone, and then 4 times when they're ringing it up to me, how I ordered it, because I ordered grill orders. I get up there and they hand it to me and it's not made right. Yeah, I got a reason to go inside and complain, and I don't want to wait for 15 people in front of me in line. You need to fix it, because 9 out of 10 times, every time I've gone in and complained, they pull the tape from the kitchen and they bring it out and they look at the 2 receipts, and a manager looks at somebody and goes, why? It said the same thing. How we ordered it is how you were told to make it. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you, but as far as, you know, a police officer has a hard enough job that if they're not in the right mood to be doing it, maybe it's the wrong place for them to be doing it, or maybe it's something else. I don't know. But, you know, you can't get in your car and go out on patrol with a chip on your shoulder because you're mad and you're going to pull every car over and get into a fight with them and then hope you can arrest somebody just because you're in a bad mood. They always told us, you know, from the time I started driver's ed, they always said, when you get pulled over, turn the engine off, put your keys up on the dashboard in front of you, put your hands at 10 and 2, and just leave them on the steering wheel. Don't open the window. Don't do anything. Wait for the officer to come up and ask you to open the window. Then open the window, leave your hands on the steering wheel, and talk to the officer. If you present yourself calm, rational, 9 out of 10 times you're going to get met with calm and rational, and then you go. Fast food is just going to be a mess. It doesn't really matter. You go in and order it right, they make it wrong just to piss you off. I can tell you, when I made pizzas, we used to intentionally, every 4 or 5 times, we'd make one wrong just so that they would say that wasn't what we ordered. We'd send it back to the kitchen, we'd eat it, and we made them the best pizza they ever had as a way of getting back. But I mean, you know, I don't accept that, you know, we have to treat police any better than the way we want to be treated, because a lot of times you're up against an officer that doesn't want to be there. They're angry, you know, they're angry. They work long shifts. I don't know whatever, you know, they're human just like the rest of us. But if you carry all of that with you, you're going to snap one day. And I don't want to be in the car when that officer snaps, and because it takes me 30 seconds longer because I got pre-Parkinson's and I got dementia, it takes me 2 seconds longer to roll the window down as far as they want the window rolled down, and I'm going to wake up dead.
I wanted to say, wow, it's loud. That racial profiling is a good thing. And you said that profiling was bad, Dave. And I just wanted to say that is a really good, quiet thing they can judge the situation by. Because I know personally, I do that when we go on a plane. And for the love of God, I do not want to see a Muslim person come on the plane in a black shroud. You take that stupid thing off. I want to see what's strapped onto your body, and I want to see more than just your eyeballs. That is just bad. And I'm going off of hindsight. We got foresight, hindsight, and insight. And all 3 of those things is bad. So if you see someone like that getting on a plane, we are getting off, because that's just common sense. So if a cop is sitting there, he's not going to tell you he's profiling. But if he sees that, he knows something's up, especially if they're traveling alone. Oh, come on, Dave. What do you have to say? Without yelling at me, please tell me.
Racial profiling, regardless of how you decide to justify it, is wrong. Because you can't just assume that every Muslim female you pass wearing a burqa is loaded to the gills and out there to kill you. Okay? This is my biggest problem with that other broadcaster that we said before, or any broadcaster who goes, no, you know, I'm against every Muslim, period. Bullcrap. I spent 62 years listening to people go, I'm against every Jew I've ever met, and I should be doubly against you because now I just found out you're Jewish. Bullcrap. Or the ones that say to me, how come you're not a big wealthy Jewish banker? You know, bullcrap. Racial profiling is wrong because you see racial profiling is wrong. And the reason that racial profiling is wrong is that D. Brown was a short guy, maybe just barely 5 feet, I think, and a superstar Boston Celtics player for many, 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 many years. Got his paycheck one day and went to his bank, which was in downtown Wellesley, which at that time was a very wealthy, affluent area. He walked into his bank, I believe, cashed his check, walked out, got into his car across the street from the bank, and sat there and did whatever he did in his car. The bank got robbed. They told him a short black gentleman. Didn't give them any other description. They walk out. D is sitting in his car. Next thing he knows, he's down on the ground being accused of a bank robbery. Because why? He was the closest short black man they saw. It's wrong. You can't assume that just because a Muslim female in a burqa driving a BMW down anywhere on the road is a criminal. It's wrong. I wouldn't want to be racially profiled.
I said on a plane. You don't get on a plane like that unless you made it through TSA. We just know.
Okay. So there should be separate areas where they can go, where there are Muslim female TSA agents who go in and search that. But they wave the same things all over you and I, and they walk through the same metal detectors. And if they don't go crazy tracking things, or the same dogs don't smell anything under them, then what is the reason?
Okay, there's one more thing. Okay, why am I echoing?
Because Randy's mic is open.
Oh. Anyhow, okay, those people that we're talking about, just FYI, and this is hindsight, all I know is what happens this time of year or in the next month, between April and May. They're ending Ramadan, okay? It's their religious thing, and they're hangry. They're hungry and they're angry. They're always angry, but they're fasting. So all of their crimes are committed. Well, besides 9/11, that was a little bit later in the year, but it was right after Ramadan. Oh, I'm sorry to profile. It is what it is. I'm sorry. I mean,
I agree with you, Jen, because they're doing the same thing to us.
Yeah.
Having white skin is terrible. Being a white male is even worse. So they're profiling us. But, going back to what Dave was saying about the police officers, to a certain extent, would not respond the way they do in the moments where there's rage if it wasn't for the fact that it started before them. Those people are causing the officer's rage to get to that point where he's going to erupt. You have Congress people and senators and even the President of the United States telling those on the left how to respond to those on the right, to defund the police, to release the criminals, to not arrest the criminals, no cash bail, and on and on and on, to where they are allowing the criminals to take control of the streets. That's why you see so much violent crime against the poor, innocent people who are doing nothing more than going about their daily duties. And you have that police officers who are responding to an event They're already outnumbered. You got the people standing up for the Palestinians or whatever the situation might be for that day. They're yelling at them. They're cursing at them, throwing stuff at them. They're getting them to respond. They want them to respond so they can come back and say, look at what the police officers did. They did this. Well, you know what? If you wouldn't have made them that way to start with, they wouldn't react the way they do.
Right.
And as far as
part of that, turn your mic off for a second, Randy. Just for a second. But you're 100% right, Randy. But go back to when Biden got elected or stolen or whatever you became the resident of the White House. That's when the big Democrat cities started cutting police funding. Less police, more angry police because the few officers got to work more to keep everybody protected. That's when Antifa and BLM went around blowing up and torching every city. Yes, you got to the point where officers would respond to their calls, but wouldn't get out of their cars. They'd just sit there and they'd wait. They'd tell the dispatcher they were there, so the computer would log them that they were there. They'd wait 4 or 5 minutes and they'd go, I don't see anybody. Call it, I don't see anybody here. The area's safe. And they'd go on to their next call. Meanwhile, 27 people got shot and this and that because they wouldn't get out of their cars. We need to, at the least, flip the weaponized Democrat Department of Justice back into the Department of Justice for the United States of America that works with everything down to local police departments to make sure they're getting properly funded, and bring back the importance of having full stocked, ready, prepared men and women on their police departments, their fire departments, their everything. We don't have that. Regardless of what political party your state governor is, state legislature is, we need police. So I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that racial profiling is wrong, and usually when racial profiling is being done, it's not being done for a positive thing, it's being done for a negative thing. It's police officers looking for a problem to make a problem that may not be a problem. So I mean, it's two ways. Go ahead, Stephen.
In my area, what we've been seeing in the last 4 years with defunding the police and some of the cops being corrupt, I've been dealing with that for the last 30 years in our community. Like, we just had it before Biden even come into office. We had a sheriff in the county next door, in the next county over. They ended up committing suicide because he was so damn corrupt and the FBI was on him. He was having sex with his snitches, had babies with his snitches, was arresting people, planting dope on people, falsely arresting people. And then after he committed suicide, then we got this new sheriff over in our county that started doing the same shit. But by the grace of God, a week and a half ago, we got him gone. We got a new sheriff here. The old sheriff is gone. He's fled the state because the FBI got him under investigation now. But I know 90% of the cops in 3 counties around here. I know every damn one of them. They was bullied in school, and they come out. They went to become a cop to try to prove a point so they get even with a lot of people out here. That's the way it is in our communities here. I mean, we have a lot of corruption with the police. A lot of corruption. And that's the reason a lot of us around here don't trust the police. We police ourselves.
Oh, wow. That's good. Yeah.
That's how
I racial profiled you on that show that we talked about earlier, and I was so happy I was right. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, I wasn't trying to find fault, but I remember you were talking about what you were cooking and what you did, and I'm seeing your house, and I'm like, did you go to a track? Have you been? We were talking about the black and brown people, and we're like, you don't even go to tractor pulls. Hey, when was the last tractor pull you were at? And you're like, I have been last week or something. And I was like, I knew it. Yeah, that was awesome.
Was last August. They haven't started up again yet, but I will be going again.
Oh, it's fun. Right. I know. Those are my kind of people. I get it. Awesome.
On a good note,
Who's
guys, we did get a new sheriff.
oh
I haven't
good.
met him. I did talk to him. He called me yesterday to let me know because everybody knows I just got all my record expunged and got my Second Amendment rights back. I was supposed to. I got him back 8 months ago. I was supposed to confirm everything with our local sheriff within 3 months. Well, I didn't because me and him didn't like each other. He was corrupt, and I didn't want to deal with him. So I waited till this new sheriff come in, and I went and had him do a background check on me. I'm good to go, guys. I'm 100%. Now all I got to do is get my driver's license back, and I'm 100% a human being again. I'll be whole again.
I'm happy for you. That's awesome. Good job.
Okay, I understand that not every police department, sheriff department is not any percentage corrupt or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, there are good people that
Cops,
that
cops.
that right. There are good cops. There are bad cops. There are good people. There are bad people.
Right.
There are there are good politicians. There are bad politicians. Well, actually, I think there are nothing but bad politicians. There are good people who become bad politicians. But I don't know.
I got to
I
talk
don't
to
know
my
what the answer.
Toy.
I don't know what the answer is.
I talked to
Ilhan
Toy.
Omar is going to leave if Trump gets reelected, so maybe she'll take plane loads of people back wherever she's going. And rumor is that she will probably never leave the United States because if she leaves the United States and goes home, she goes back to a country where I believe that same broadcaster said she would go back to a country where women are not allowed to speak. They dress in burqas, and they wear that traditional whatever, and they never leave the house. And because of that, I don't think she'll ever go home. Doesn't necessarily mean that she needs to be reelected every time. It just means that she won't go home. But
Dave,
we need to.
Dave,
Go ahead.
last time you talked to me, you asked me how my son was doing. I finally talked to him after today. He called after 5 weeks. They've been locked down for 5 weeks because the federal prison found a gun in the facility. They found a pistol in there. So they
Oh,
locked
come
down all.
on.
Here's my issue, and I'm going to bring this up to. I'm going to be calling my representative tomorrow. An inmate didn't get that gun in there. A damn guard took that gun in there. That's the only way they get a lot of that shit in there. Them drugs and them guns and all this other shit that these inmates are getting are brought in by the guards. There's more corruption that we got to deal with. You
Oh my
know,
gosh.
You're 100% there, right there. I think, Stephen. And the problem also, I don't understand, and I've never had to worry about trying to figure out how people survive in a prison. You can't see you got 3,000 people living in your prison and another 2,000 employees in various departments, the guards, the hospital operations, whatever. So you got 4,000 people in this building 24/7, and you can't lock them all down for an extended period of time because it's like I live in a 12 by 12 bedroom. And if this was a jail cell, I'd go out of my mind. I couldn't be in here all day long, so I don't know how you deal with it, but your son, and I've never even met your son, but just knowing that he is hopefully falsely accused of crimes related to January 6th. He's on my list of people I pray for every night. I hope that he makes it through it and comes out and you see him again because
I wish he was. His crime's way worse than J6.
okay.
But my issue is this is my deal. It's a guard, somebody of statue or authority that takes that in there to one inmate, but all the inmates are punished. They're already in there serving time for their crime, but then somebody else comes in and commits a crime, and them guys are being punished for what that person did. That's not right. That's not right.
It isn't, but no one is going to step forward and say, I'm not going to step forward and say it was Ichabod who brought in, or a guard that is friends with Ichabod gave him the machine gun Kelly that he had. When the lights go out the next night, that rifle's going to take me out. So it's very hard for me to understand how anybody survives that life, and maybe it's been not supposed to, how anybody survives that life, because it is a 100 complete different society than we are in.
Oh, trust me, I know. I've been there once. I mean,
the only time that it even comes close is I remember as a kid in the Alcatraz tour, and they let you stand in a solitary confinement cell, which is pitch black, and they put me in there. I heard the door lock. I don't remember how old I was. They opened up the door and said, "How was it?" And I said, "It was the longest 60 years of my life." And it turns out that I was only in there for like a minute. I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Well, guys, I
gotta get going here.
All right, we're gonna have to figure out the problem. I'm gonna have to go through StreamYard for one of their texts if we can find it. Rumor seems to think it's intentional interference coming from someplace. But thanks for coming, Stephen. I do appreciate it, and everybody should be looking for your hopeful either broadcasts or podcasts or videos of your work down in Jesse James Cemetery.
I took a little footage today, but I had all new guys there today, so I couldn't focus on getting a lot of videos done because I had to babysit.
Okay. All right.
So, but I'm going to try. I'm supposed to have some help there tomorrow. We'll see what tomorrow brings.
All right, Stephen, always a pleasure to have you on. We'll get this audio problem figured out, I'm sure.
All right, bud. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you. All right, everybody. We just have no, now it all stopped. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out. And if I got a little wild and heated at some parts during the broadcast, I do apologize. But I think that racial profiling is wrong, however you use it, anytime you use it. And maybe the only time I would say maybe it's okay is if you're talking about law enforcement in an area profiling all of the residents in their area of policing, to understand everybody who lives in their area, but not specifically targeting blacks because they're black, or Jews because they're Jews, or bald-headed, unbearded Jew conservative broadcasters on Facebook. It's just wrong. And I don't know what the answers are anymore either. We live in a world that is so far screwed up that I say it every time I come on. The only reason I think the Democrats are keeping Biden elected, or are keeping Biden in the White House, is so that they could get him reelected. Not even expecting that he would complete the second term, but at least while he's a sitting president, he can't be tried for all of these crimes, because if he was tried for all of these crimes, he might not be president. And my response has always been the same to Robert Hur, the special prosecutor in Biden's case. You didn't do anybody any good if you said, oh, well, he's an old man, and old men make mistakes, and old men forget things, and they don't remember, and this and that and the other, and because of that, we can't remove it. Well, that's actually bullcrap, okay? The rules say if a president did this, it's illegal. The rules say if a senator did this, it's illegal. If a vice president did it, it's illegal. If a president did it based on being a senator and a vice president when he did it, it's illegal. If House Republicans on different committees, Ways and Means and Judicial and whatever, and the same over in the Senate, have all kinds of evidence that says he is guilty of all of this, then, okay, you don't send him to jail, but you remove him from the White House, because sooner or later he's going to tick somebody off outside of this country. I get tired of reading every day that Biden was on the phone with Netanyahu and again told Netanyahu there should be a ceasefire. The only reason there should be a ceasefire, I'm sure Biden is thinking, is so that we have enough time to get arms to Hamas, or Hamas has enough time to get arms and regroup and do whatever. No, wrong. That thing needs to come to an end. I've been saying it, and I will keep saying it. And I will keep saying it on Facebook because I'm one of the proud admins of the group, The World United as One Against Government Overreach. And, it's time the governments understand that they were put together where they were put together by the people to serve the people, you serve the people. And maybe where the government has just been there forever, and that's the way it is. They got to understand that sometimes you just have to do things to take care of your people. So I did not in any means intend to get people into a Boogie with a Blowout. I looked at all kinds of settings on my StreamYard just to see if I could figure out anything that would have an echo, but I don't see anything. I'll get on the phone with them tomorrow and try to see if we can figure out something. It could be the Chromebook also, because the Chromebook really does in fact need to be replaced, but I haven't been able to find exactly the configuration of what I want to replace it with. So it could be the Chromebook acting up. But anyway, we will get it figured out. We always do. We always will. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on Boogie with the Bull, Wednesday morning caffeine. Michael Anthony, Studio 10 Broadcasting, 10 o'clock talks, America Disclosing Uncensored, America Disclosing. Go to the Michael Anthony page here on Facebook and become his friend and watch. And you'll see where he's going to be live and when he's going to be live, because he's not just on social media anymore. He is on TV, he's on radio, and tomorrow he's going to be on Boogie with the Bull, Wednesday morning caffeine. The plan for Thursday, Boogie with the Bull, Thursday Night Live, is hopefully we will have the audio problem fixed and be ready to go. Next Tuesday, Suzanne Arcado, who was at one point a trafficked female, escaped and now is a humanitarian aid, helping trafficked children. We'll be joined with Bonnie Johnson, who is another humanitarian aid for trafficked children, who we've said several times that she's told you has gone in with military groups and helped rescue children. Bonnie will be with us. Susan will be with us. Jen will be doing the interview. I'll be making sure that there is no audio interference that night. And we're always looking for interesting guests to come on the program and join us. And we have two formats that you can do it. One is morning caffeine, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Randy Rhodes and I, Monday, Wednesday. And then on Friday, it's Bill Muckler joins Jen, Randy, and I for Red Friday. And then we go into the normal discussions. Remember, everyone deployed on Friday. We all wear red to the broadcast. And then, of course, Tuesday and Thursday night live, where your free ticket price includes audio interference until we figure out where it is. One rumor is that it's coming from Facebook. One is that it's coming in with StreamYard. One is, I don't know. So I really don't know, but we will try to get it figured out. And if we don't, we'll just, maybe it's that we don't drink enough Fat Cup coffee on Boogie with the Bull broadcast. Fat Cup Coffee Company. Go to the Fat Cup Coffee Company Facebook page. Take a look around. That will take you over to fatcupcoffee.com. Take a look around and order coffee from them. I believe you can get whole beans, you can get ground, and I believe in some cases you can even get K-cups of Fat Cup Coffee Company coffee. So go over there and take a look at fatcupcoffeecompany.com or look at their Facebook page for more information. You can always talk to Robin Brunson. She's the person who introduced us to Fat Cup Coffee Company coffee. And at some point, we hope to talk to them again and show them that we made some changes and Boogie broadcasts are getting better, and maybe they might want to consider becoming a sponsor of the broadcast. And then we got this wonderful audio problem that we can't seem to figure out, but I guess we will get it figured out because that's what we do. Anyway, you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And we want to thank Ichabod Palmer, Randy Rhodes, Jen Woodruff for joining us on the program and putting up with me getting maybe a little more heated than I should have at some points in the program. Anybody else wants to come on to the broadcast, you are always more than welcome, including anyone that we talked about on the broadcast who may do their own broadcasts. You are more than welcome to come back on and be part of this broadcast at any time. I'm not the best. I'm not the worst. Yes, I do cut people off, and I try to work on that. And I still do get a little heated at times. But, you know, if it was just a monotone blah, 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 you wouldn't watch because you wouldn't learn anything, and you'd probably shut it off as fast as you tuned in. Anyway, I want to thank Robin Brunson for watching. Let's scroll up and see who else. William Grant was here, and Facebook's making it harder and harder and harder and harder for people to see the broadcasts. Anyway, so you can always go over to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and watch the latest broadcast, plus all of the Boogie with the Bull broadcasts going back about 4 or 5 years now, and be caught up to date. One of these days, we will get Rumble dealt with and up and running, and we'll get X dealt with and up and running, and everybody will be able to see us on more places. On X, you can follow at BoogieWTBull, at BoogieWTBull. That's the Boogie with the Bull account. Over on True Social, I'm Dave Globin. You can follow me there. Over on Streetlock, STREETLOC.com. You can follow me over there. I'm Dave Globin. The Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group is over there, but it needs a lot of work. We got all these groups set up on all these different social media platforms, and before you know it, we just don't keep up with our responsibilities. Anyway, good night, William Grant. I hope to see you tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, morning caffeine for Wednesday with Randy Rhodes and I, and Michael Anthony, and anyone else who might pop in. So, double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast will come to an end. One more time, double B's for victory that this Boogie with the Bull broadcast did come to an end.